Basically, to get this challenge, I just need to chase 4 people, I guess. Pretty simple. Oh, they see me, but I don't see them. Oh, yeah. You thought I was going to pick her up, didn't you? The crouch feature, come on. Classic. Classic. You got splayed, buddy. You got splayed. I just got revealed by them on the hook. Who is doing generators? La da 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 da. Dee dee dee. Dee 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 dee. Da da da. Da 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 da. Not going for the save, are ye? They're just popping off gens so people die on hook. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. And some pain resonance, shall you? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Time to go. Oh, I did bring the Mori. That's because they let her die on hook, I guess. Is that what happened? Or did I kill her? Did I throw her on last hook? I think I threw her on the last hook. Loop-de-loop. 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 The grass kind of obscured things, but moving along. You just gonna let her bleed out? Hmm. They're just letting them bleed out. Let's go. Show me where they're at. Look at her feet all twisted. He can't be worried. He's only been hooked once. He needs another hook. All that hiding, and he wasn't even on death hook. I want to Mori with a snowman in the background. Not fair. Come on, I need a snowman in the background. There we go. No. I need a Mori with a snowman in the background. Wait, oh, I only had one Mori. Yeah, that's why. I used my one more. Why was I thinking I had more? I'm not sure. He's actually gonna get it. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get out. Let's see. Let's read what you're saying. Good afternoon. Hold on a second. It's blocking my my chat. Let's see. Good afternoon. I come with a question for you, the Pigeon Knight. Are you okay? Who hurt you? Do you suffer from mental issues that make you act the way you do in this game? Just curious. Your childish, toxic behavior is incredibly worrying. Just trying to figure out if it's a YouTube act or if there's a reason for it. Are you the one that banned me on Twitch? Or like blocked me so I couldn't respond to you? Or is that someone entirely different? Who hurt you? Were you in one of these games? Which one were you? It's a video game. It's a killer game. The killer's supposed to kill you. Why would you be so upset that the killer kills you? That's the job of the killer. Like, why take it so personal? Like, it's like there's some kind of mental problem behind somebody playing the actual objective of the game. I was swift with Karen Yeager. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. What killer was I? Nurse, Bubba, Ghostface? I seriously just wanted to talk to you for myself because you seem so upset by this game. Upset? What did I say that made me upset? That makes me sound upset. You posted a video called Clapping Her. No, I didn't. Liverpool 97. Don't be sad. The Pigeon Knight. Is she a Twitch streamer? We were just casually playing and you were overly toxic to us for no reason. It's not personal. It's just being silly. It's mostly to be silly and make funny content. There's really... I don't take any of this game that serious. It's just for fun. Like right now, I'm not even on my own account. I'm on somebody else's account trying to do their challenges for the tome so that they can get the items like this, for instance. Like, they don't even have all the killers. I have all the killers. All my killers are prestiged and adept and everything. My nurse is P90. Like, I'm just literally on someone else's account trying to get them these what do you call it, this tome. So before this tome ends, I'm doing all their killer challenges for them. So that's it. I'm just grinding challenges and being silly along the way. I had a feeling it's a YouTube act. That's the exact reason I wanted to message you. Yeah, when this game goes off, like, I'm not thinking about it. I'm not like, I don't lose sleep over it. I don't get mad over anything. It's really just to be silly and make funny content. But I will say this in defense of that kind of behavior. Like, if you go to my channel and there's a section that's like, let me just show you it actually. Right, so if you go to my channel and you go to the home page, playlist, it says trolling Twitch streamers. Right, if you watch any of this stuff, in most cases, it's just funny. It's not like really with malice or anything. But there is this one that I just posted yesterday, and it says why killers hate Twitch streamers in Dead by Daylight, and it was like a negative encounter that I had with a Twitch streamer, and the video kind of speaks for itself. It's just 4 minutes, but I just took his clips, and actually I'm in the process of talking to him, and considering removing the video because he did apologize. But it should give you insight into like the toxicity, like real toxicity, or at least perceived toxicity of like what real people are saying that outside of the game. That like basically like what I'm trying to say is that I had this policy. I haven't been playing this game for that long. I want to say like 8-9 months or something. But when I started, like I had this policy where it was like if I saw a Twitch streamer, I would let them live because you know, fellow content creator, and I just felt like, I don't know, just being nice, letting them live. But I would also do things where, like, let's say, not always, but in this case, like the TTV Chainsaw Massacre, like I trolled them and hit them on the hook and beat them and chopped them up with the chainsaw on the hook and was like super toxic in the game. But in the end, I literally let them walk out the gate and made this video, and it's kind of long. It's like 36 minutes, but it's kind of entertaining, but it's pretty long. And in the end, they loved it. Like they and I ended up like, you know, adding them on the friends list and playing Swift with them, and it was all good. But it was just for sake of content and being funny, and I mashed up the different perspectives. It just happened to be a fun game. But so like what I'm trying to say is, even if I would hit Twitch streamers on the hook or be toxic, even if I would for content's sake, I would usually let them live, and it'd be like a plot twist, you know, like, oh, they didn't expect that. And some people really thought it was cool. They'd be like, oh, I've never had, you know, like a toxic killer actually let me go like that. I never thought you would let us live. And so if you watch some of those videos on there, they're just silly stuff, and in most cases it's like people that are happy about it. But I said all that to actually say something else, and that is that I've felt a lot of toxicity in this game, like in the case where I would let Twitch streamers live. Like, let's say I went easy on them. I downed them twice early on. I've hooked them twice. They're on death hook. And I'm like, I don't want to just, you know, tunnel them out. I want them to have fun and play. So I would leave them slugged and let them get picked up. Or I'd go far from the hook and let them get rescued. And I would go easy on teams, and like I would not be really trying to kill them. And so what I noticed would happen a lot of times is that by the end of the game, it would backfire, and I'd have 4 people teabagging me at the gate. And then in the end game, they'd be calling me trash and saying, oh, you need to get good or uninstall or get better. You're trash. You're dog water, blah, blah, blah. And they would say all this stuff. And so I would tell them in the chat, like, relax. Like, I was going easy on you. You know how many times I let you live? Like, I could have hooked you like 5 times and I just left you there. But they don't perceive it that way. They perceive it as like, oh, we outplayed you, or you left us slug because you were greedy for the 4K and we outplayed you or something. And so then, you know, I would tell them like, I kind of let you live. Like it wasn't like I wasn't sweating like you think. And then they'd be like, yeah, right. Sure you did. And so I kind of got fed up with like hearing the same thing from people in the endgame chat, and specifically Twitch streamers. like when it was Twitch streamers doing it live on their stream with an audience and then like mocking me and stuff like that, then I was like, oh, okay. And so I started treating Twitch streamers like any other player. I didn't give them special treatment. I just like, whatever, I'm going to treat them like any other player. They're just another player. And so that was it. And then I started to figure out that like in this game, there's been one consistent thing that I've noticed, and that is cool people are cool. You know, nice people are nice, basically, and mean people are mean. Toxic people are toxic. And I don't mean toxic as in being silly, like hitting somebody on the hook and chainsawing them up and that type of silliness. But, you know, and there's a different extent of toxicity. Like, I'm not going to sit there and stand over somebody and watch them bleed out, then close the hatch in their face, then bring them to the gate, let them open the gate, then bash them, then go bring them to the hook and drag it all out like that. If I did anything like that, I would let them live. So it's like, if I'm going to hit them on the hook, if I'm going to stand over them, close the hatch in their face, let them open the gate, hit them, like in the end, I'm going to let them walk out the gate. Like, I'm not going to do that to somebody and then finalize them. Now, I will if they're toxic first to me, like if they're teabagging me and clicking their flashlights and being obnoxious, like they're like trying to mock me or like bully me and stuff like that with all the flashlights and stuff like that. Then yeah, then maybe I'll get toxic back in that respect. But what I was trying to say is that it's like, I noticed that people that have a good attitude have a good attitude, and people have a bad attitude have a bad attitude, and it's always consistent. So it's like, if I am killer and I let somebody live, or I go easy on them, and then they win and they walk out the gate, they're teabagging me. If they have a bad attitude, they're just gonna tell me like, get better, you're trash, and all that stuff, even though I went easy on them. And likewise, if I beat them, they're going to tell me, oh, you know, you tunneling, camping piece of trash. And they're going to talk trash if I win, and they're going to talk trash if I lose. Either way, they're going to be like talking trash. And then I noticed that the people that have good attitudes that are cool, they're cool regardless. So it's like, if you let them win, they're super happy and they're like, oh, thank you, that was so nice. But even if you kill them, they're like, you know, good game, that was fun. And even if you're like hitting them on the hook and stuff, and I've gone and I'd be like, yeah, hey, sorry for hitting you on the hook. I was just being silly and making videos and stuff. And they'd be like, oh, that's totally cool. It was fun, you know? So my point is that people with good attitudes, whether they win or lose, they have a good attitude, and people with bad attitudes, whether they win or lose, they have a bad attitude. So then I realized like, hey, like, whatever, if I want to hit people on the hook and make content and be silly and be all like play all toxic, cool people are going to be okay with it. They're going to get it, and they're going to be like, oh, okay, whatever. Because it's like, I play Survivor 2, and I have killers get toxic with me and hit me on the hook, camp me. A lot of them do it just for my name, just because it says TrollingProphet at YouTube. They are going to tunnel me and hit me on hook and be really toxic. And so at first I'm like, why are they doing this? This feels awful. Like, it's not nice and whatever. But then when I see it from both perspectives, now I just laugh at it. Like, if they're going to tunnel me out, yeah, it's not fun just like dying within the first 30 seconds of the game because they're going to face camp me and kill me for no reason or whatever. But at the same time, I say, good game, next. Or, you know, good face camp, or it must be nice. It must be hard to tunnel someone out who's AFK or whatever. But I don't care really. I don't lose sleep over it. It's just like, next, you know, next game. That wasn't fun what they did, but it's like, I get it. And I also get it. Another thing is like, that's just talking about toxicity. But if you're talking about like just actual competitive gameplay, like, right, I'm on this account right now that is not mine. So the MMR, they're not a killer main. So the MMR is actually very low killer. So especially with like nurse, right? So I'm a nurse main, but if I play on theirs as a nurse, I'm getting people that are just basically killing themselves on hook and disconnecting. So I literally have to like pretend to play like a baby nurse and go really easy on them, even for them to just not quit. But if you play high MMR and you play really good teams like Swifts that are like competitive and they're on Discord with each other, they're a whole different ball game. They're like really, really good, and they'll have the gens done in 3 minutes. They don't waste their time creeping around the map or blessing totems or healing, even if they don't have to. Like, they'll stay injured and crank out gens to where 3 minutes go by and then it's like, boom, exit gates are ready. And if you don't sweat and you don't tunnel somebody and try to kill them as soon as possible, or even camp a hook if you have to, like, there's no way you're winning. There's no way you're even like, I'm lucky if I even get 2 kills in some of those matches, and I could have on like the sweatiest build and just play. I could do everything even right too, like end chases fast and guard the gens and just do everything right, and they're just so good and coordinated that there's like they definitely have the upper hand. So when I play on my account and I go into games now, I have to like play as if I'm playing against a really competitive, strong team, because I don't know who I'm going against. And if I just start off chill, taking it easy, I'm just going to get slaughtered, and they're all just going to be like out the gate teabagging me and telling me I'm garbage. So it's like I have to go in swinging and like just trying to kill somebody as soon as possible. But if I get the game under control and I'm like, okay, I'm winning this, like one person's dead, the others are slugged, then I can kind of like lighten up and be like, okay guys, you want to hit me with some pallets and you want to like farm some points or whatever. So basically at high MMR and low MMR, this game is a whole different game. Like if you're playing against solo queue or you're playing against a strong Swift, is a whole different game. Like solo queue, I could literally, if I'm playing like on this account right here, if I want to, I could go with Nurse and just go like this. No perks, no add-ons, and I could probably still 4K without too much trouble, unless it's like a map like Leary's. But on my account, I have to put on the sweatiest builds, and sometimes I don't even get a kill. I might even get like 2, 4, 6, 8 hooks, but because I didn't get anybody hooked 3 times, then I don't even get a kill. So I might be playing really well, hook everybody twice, end chases fast, but the generators just get done 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, so the game's just over. They're like done and out the gate. So that's a whole other aspect. But if you're just talking about like hitting on the hook and being quote unquote toxic, that's just, if you weren't teabagging me first, then I was just being silly and just, you know, it's a horror game. Part of the whole thing is like, you know, the killers can hit you on the hook and they could be mean. Like I usually try not to like face camp somebody to death on their first hook or something like that. A lot of times I see at this lower MMR, teammates are just letting each other die. Like they're not even going for rescues. People are killing themselves and missing their skill checks on purpose, taking all 3 hook attempts. Like everybody's just killing themselves. I could move far away from the hook and like people don't even get the save. That's another thing. Like if I see people that are being like really altruistic and really trying hard, they're doing generators, they're going for saves, I'm more inclined to let those people actually walk out the gate than somebody who's just like hiding in the corner doing nothing. Like they haven't been hooked. I haven't seen them all match. They're not going to help anybody. They're obviously not doing generators because no generators are getting done. Like when I find that person, I'm most likely going to kill them because they're not helping their team at all. So let me read what you said here. So, yeah, the issue me and Karen had was you were toxic the whole match, then posted a video with her name in it saying you completely destroyed her. And even though we were just casually playing, as a killer main slowly reaching that MMR level, I agree there's nothing wrong with strategic tunneling and stuff. There's no wrong way to play high competition, but hitting people on hook are social questions that can be hard to read sometimes. Yeah, because you can't communicate in the game. So people just assume, you know. Like I have people assume like oh, he's so mad or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm just having fun too. Like, I'm not mad about anything. When you hit us on the hook, we can't tell if you're raging out of your mind and we somehow ruin your day or if you're just memeing. Yeah, not me. I'm sure there are people there. I'm sure there are people that are taking out their aggression that way or whatever. But yeah, me and Karen never teabag. We enjoyed the match. There's just no way to know what you're thinking. And all we saw was the video you posted. Okay, but did you watch the video? Because if you watch the video, you might be able to figure out that I'm just being silly. Did you just see the title or did you watch it? And is this the one that I sent to her? Like I sent it to her in Twitch or something. The thing is, when I play against Twitch streamers, not always, but usually I'll put their name in the video and send it to them just to share like, hey, like this was our game from my perspective. We did the whole video. Your commentary sounded very salty. Oh, I was probably just being silly. Like, just, what was I saying? I was probably just acting silly on purpose, like just being a character. Like, what was I saying? You're like, cockroach Twitch streamers, you need to pay or something or what? Like, as a first impression, we couldn't tell you being sarcastic and memeing. It sounded like you were actually salty. That's funny. I guess I'm a good actor. So I can't talk to you. Nah, man. I was just messing around. I was just being silly. But yeah, kind of like if you sorry, I'm coughing. If you watch, I'm telling you, like, you might understand, right? So I'm telling you, just come to my channel. It's 4 minutes long, right? And it's the one, if you scroll down to trolling Twitch streamers, or it's in Day by Daylight highlights or whatever, but if you scroll this way, this one right here that says why killers hate Twitch streamers in Dead by Daylight. If you watch that, this just happened to me last night and I posted that. And like I said, I'm thinking of putting it down because he contacted me and apologized. But the point is, if you watch the way I was actually treated, this game lasted an hour. This was after an hour-long game. And then I tried to, like, you know, talk to him and I was treated like garbage, and he was streaming in front of a community of like 400 people at the time. So I was made to like just be a laughing stock. Like I was just mocked by his whole community. They came to my chat and started like being toxic to me. And so if you watch that, and you'll see like how Twitch streamers have treated me, and that's definitely not the first time. Then I take on this persona of like, oh yeah, you're a Twitch streamer. Oh, okay, you're gonna get it, you know, kind of lumping all Twitch streamers into that category. And also, I obviously know that they're not all like that. Like I've met a lot of cool, funny Twitch streamers, but like say this one, My Revenge on Angry Comic Girl. She's a Twitch streamer. We were playing together, Swift, and she teamed up with the killer and got me killed with the killer. So the next game, I befriended the killer and pointed her out and got her, you know, I actually think we all escaped, but like I got her attacked by the killer, and it was just like, we were just being silly to each other. We were just like basically trolling each other. You know, this one right here, like Twitch streamers fall in love with my nurse. Like they're telling me like they love the game. I let them all live at the end of this game. But even the same thing, I was like hitting them on the hook and stuff like that. And this one, I've never felt so abused. These are people that I actually know, but I just like slaughtered them and hung them all in the basement, and they were so mad. But then when they found out it was me, they started laughing about it. So a lot of it's just for content. It's just for being silly. If I'm acting like I have one that was like, if you search the channel for Death Slinger, the most toxic death slinger, you know, and I'm just like, have this persona like, yeah, come here, come get this, and whacking them and reeling them in and just being like mean. And sorry, it's at the expense of whoever's playing, but at the same time, it's a video game and it's just being silly. And I don't always do that. Like a lot of times I play serious as far as like I'm just playing normal, but other times I'm in a mood where I'm just making funny content. Like if I have to do, like I don't even play Deathslinger, so the only reason I play him is to try to do some daily ritual or challenge. So if I have to play a killer I don't even really want to play, in order to make it interesting, I start like taking on a persona and just being silly about it. Like, you know, I did the other day, I didn't finish editing it, but it was like Michael Myers Snowman or something, like Insidious Snowman or something. Right here, Insidious Snowman, my first time as Scratch Mirror Myers, and I'm like coming up to them in the snowman and face camping them, and their teammates just let them die. Like they're not even playing along. Like nobody, I don't know. It's like people are afraid to meme and be silly. So I literally walk up to them on the hook in a snowman and just face camping them. And I'm thinking like, okay, their team's going to come save them, but their team just lets them die. And I get it. Like I'm face camping them, but at the same time, it's in a snowman. It's kind of silly. If the players start memeing back with me and being cute or put their items down or getting a snowman or just do stuff back where they're like obviously playing around, then in pretty much all those cases, those people end up walking out the gate or getting the hatch. Like anybody that has a good personality and they're like playing, like if I'm memeing in a snowman and they get in a snowman and start memeing with me, like then now we're buddies, you know, in most cases. Sometimes I'm just like, whatever, because I want to get the game over with. But a lot of times I'll sit there and let them do all the generators and leave. I used to let a lot of people live, but I kind of changed my policy after people were super mean. But if you watch that one video, you'll see what I mean. So maybe since that happened last night, now for the next day when I'm seeing Twitch streamers, I'm probably being a little more or a little less merciful, so to speak. A little more like brutal with Twitch streamers because of that experience. But at the same time, like I said, it's really not personal. It's just to be silly. But it makes it easier to be like, oh, you're a Twitch streamer? All right, yeah. This, like, you're an enemy because you're a Twitch streamer. But obviously, like I know, like I said, people with good attitudes have good attitudes and people with bad ones have bad ones. I didn't send that to her to be toxic. I just sent it to just show my perspective. I thought maybe she would think it's funny, or at least see that I really wasn't being, I don't know. I guess I'd have to watch that one back to see like what I sounded like, but I definitely had no reason to be like malicious or caught, like, you know, it's not like I'm really trying to hurt somebody's feelings or something. Let's see, you said stuff like, where's your gen jockey now? Huh? Guess they don't love yeah, because like what'll happen is one or two people will be taking chase and the gen jockeys will be in the background doing their generators, and then people get left on hook and they're not getting saved. I'm like, oh yeah, they don't love you, why aren't they coming to get you? It's just a persona. It's just being silly. Not serious. I personally couldn't enjoy content like that, even if it's a joke, but I'm glad you're not actually trying to ruin the game. It's completely a joke. Like, it's not like there's no ill will behind any of it. It's really just being stupid and funny. It's just playing the character, you know? It's like my job is to kill, and it's like for the longest time I've had to come to terms with that as like, I mean, I call myself Killer Main, but I play Survivor just as much. But when I first saw like people get put on hooks in this game, it was very disturbing. And I still don't like doing it. I feel bad, especially when they're like, when I know I'm playing against potatoes, or just like, like people who are newer to the game and they obviously don't know how to loop and they're like kind of lost. They're not being efficient on generators. They're making stupid mistakes and stuff like that. I feel so bad. And I'm like, I don't even want to kill these people. But you know what? What happens is, like I said, exactly what I said. Like if I'm nice to them, I don't kill them. I go easy on them. I swear how many times in the end game, they'll tell me like, oh, you know, you're not really good or something. Like they just talk some kind of trash. And I'm like, look, I'm on some, this happened to me like, I think today, like a few games back or whatever. And I'm like, I'm on somebody else's account. Like I'm just, you know, I'm really like a P90 nurse. And they're like, oh, well, you know, I'd expect you to be better than you were. And I'm like, cause I was going easy on you. I was letting you live. I wasn't really trying to kill you. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, sure. Because like nobody believes that. They think everybody's sweating as hard as them. So every time I'm nice, I'm not gonna say every time, but I'm exaggerating, but many times when I'm nice to people, it's crazy how like they've been toxic back to me. And I'm the nicest nurse you've ever played. Like I literally let all four of you walk out the gate. What are you complaining about? Oh, you tunnel this and you camp that. And I've even been called tunneling and camping when I was specifically was trying not to tunnel anybody out. Like I'm like, I know somebody's, if I think someone's on death hook, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to hook that person to eliminate them. And then you know what happens? They get up, they do the gens. All four of them are teabagging me at the gate and telling me I'm garbage. So I kind of like lost my, well, I'm losing my nice, I guess, persona as far as like, I'm getting more cold in the sense of like less merciful, because there's this like, you know, imaginary rule book that you're supposed to play by, like don't camp, don't tunnel, you got to do this, you got to do that, you can't use those perks, you can't play the nurse because she's OP. And it's just like tired of everybody telling people how to play. Just play how you want to play. But no, the game was totally just comedy if I was saying stuff like that. I'll goof around to avoid miscommunications and controversies like this. That way, if you're ever playing full force and they say you're bad in the game, it's all more reason to improve and move on. Honestly, people who complain about tunneling and camping just aren't good at the game. The rule book goes in the trash in competitive matches. Every killer and strat has a counter. Yeah, from what I see, the competitions, like the tournaments and stuff, it's like they're definitely tunneling. They use no ed, no way out, corrupt intervention. They're definitely trying to tunnel. But like I'm saying, if I'm playing against a good team, like really good, it doesn't even matter. You try to kill one person, they cross each other and mix up the scratch marks, and one of them hides, and now you're chasing a fully healthy person. You hit them and then they disappear and someone else shows up, and now you've got another healthy person, and then you finally hit them, and then you catch up to them and you hit them again. But what do? They dead hard, and now you got to chase them again, and by the time you catch them, you down them, and all of a sudden they got decisive strike, and it's like you waste the whole match just chasing. There was one match where I got in one chase, and it went on for like 2 minutes, and I chased this person, and literally all the gens, by the time I had them on the hook, all the gens were done. It was like 3.5 minutes tops, all gens were done, and I was left with nothing to do but like face camp them. And like that was all I could do, because if I left and went to the gates, they would just get a free unhook. So I just had to stay at the hook to try to secure at least one kill. And I didn't even get the kill. They all came and got away and escaped and everything. And then they still trash talked me. Like, oh, you're so bad, whatever. You can't chase. You're just this and that. And it's like, I had literally 3 minutes to play. I got in one chase, and this team cranked out all the generators that fast because I committed to one chase. So if I commit to the chase, they're like, oh, well, you stayed in that chase too long. You should have defended the gens. But if I defend the gens, I'm a gen camper and I should commit to a chase. And it's like, you can't win any way you cut it. It's like, no matter what you do, they're going to tell you you did the wrong thing. So I just stopped caring. But if I'm smacking you on hook for no reason and saying yeah, nobody loves you. Where are they? Like, I'm just kidding. It's all a joke. It's all an act. But it's funny to hear that it's that convincing that people can't tell the difference. That's the funny part. I would say to watch my video called the TTV Chainsaw Massacre, and it should be painfully obvious that it's a joke, but I guess some people think it's totally cringe. But that's 35 minutes long, and I tortured them as far as like slugging them to the last second, and all I was trying to do was get the Twitch streamer to beg, like give up, but he wouldn't give up until the very end. And it's hilarious because I didn't look at their streams until after, and then I saw their streams and I took their content and edited it up together, and it's just so funny how it's all cut together. It's like watching a movie. But yeah, to answer your question, like, I forgot all about that game. I don't even know what I was saying or why. It was all to be silly. It was all to be silly. Because then people are like, well, why do you hate Twitch streamers? I'm like, oh, okay, well, look how they act. Look how they treat me. Look what they say. Like, I was so nice to Twitch streamers. I let them all live. I tried to become friends with them, and then I got shunned and talked trash by so many of them. And not just Twitch streamers. It's those kind of people in general. But the ones that were Twitch streamers, it was more like, oh, okay, they're actually, making content and being this way. But no, I'm not serious about it. If I were serious about it, people would know, because I would be talking like this, and I would seriously be saying, this is a problem that I have with the game, and this is why, or the people, or so-and-so, or whatever. I would just actually be straight up talking about it like this. But if I'm saying stuff like, oh yeah, how do you like that? Oh, how do you like them banapples? Oh, where's your teammate now? Oh, they don't love you very much, do they? Not coming to save you. Oh, that's too bad. Looks like you're going to die up here all alone on this cold, rusty hook. If I'm saying stuff like that, I'm just totally kidding. All right. Well, I'm glad you cleared it up. Hopefully you can explain to your friend that it's not personal at all, and I wasn't sending that to be toxic. It's all just in like twisted humor. This is Dead by Daylight. It's full of, toxic degenerates. That's just the nature of this game. You have a good night too, and thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna call it a night anyway. Good night.